Hey class, this is Mr. Burns. We're rolling into a little unit on Central America. Before we get started though, we want to define one vocabulary word here, and that word is isthmus. And if you read on the screen, it tells you that an isthmus is a narrow strip of land with water on both sides, and that this narrow strip of land connects two larger pieces of land. And we have two really famous isthmuses in the world. The one pictured on your screen is the Isthmus of Suez. But the one in Central America is the Isthmus of Panama. And this isthmus connects the giant continents of North America and South America. The Isthmus of Panama and the country of Panama is famous for the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal was completed by the United States in 1914. It took many years to build, and this is still one of the most important features with transportation in the world because it saves ships traveling east and west thousands and thousands of miles. They don't have to go all the way around South America to reach the west coast of the United States or reverse to reach the east coast of the United States. Obviously, Central America is a very warm place. It is located much closer to the equator. It's in the Tropic of Cancer. So at sea levels, you have very warm temperatures. You have a climate zone called Tierra Caliente, which means the hot land. And what we're looking at on the screen, it's absolutely gorgeous when you look at the green there. This is a picture of the climate zone that's called the Tierra Templada, and that is a temperate climate zone. Temperate means not too hot, not too cold. The Tierra Templada climate zone is created by elevation. So as you go up, the temperature drops. So between 2,500 feet to 6,000 feet in Central America, we find the Tierra Templada climate zone. And this is the richest agricultural land in the region of Central America. This slide talks about one of the famous historical events that really had a great impact on the countries of Central America, and that is the arrival of the conquistadors. The conquistadors were Spanish warriors that came to the Americas mainly in search of treasure. One of the most infamous of the Spanish conquistadors, and I'll grab my little pen right there, is, you see this little depiction of Hernan Cortez. Hernan Cortez was a Spaniard, and he came to Mexico because he had heard tales of a fabulously wealthy nation, and there was a fabulous empire there. It was the Empire of the Aztecs, but Cortez came to battle the Aztecs. He was one of the first white men to see the Valley of Mexico, and the Valley of Mexico in 1517 was one of the most heavily populated places on the planet. Cortez gained many thousands of Indian allies to help him in his fight against the Aztecs. The Aztecs were a warrior race, and they had conquered many people, and they extracted heavy taxes and tribute from these people. That was one of the reasons why Hernan Cortez was able to conquer them, because he found allies again among the conquered peoples that the Aztecs had waged war against. Just wanted to touch on a couple other things here. Can you say Columbian exchange? Columbian exchange comes from, you probably guessed it, Christopher Columbus. He is an explorer. He was Italian, but he explored for the Spanish. And he was one of the first Europeans to reach North America. Other Europeans from Spain followed, and they reached South America. Once this happened, there was a great exchange of people, plants, and animals, spices from Europe to Asia to Africa. And it all fits under this umbrella term of Columbian exchange. The worst part of the Columbian Exchange is probably what you're seeing at the bottom of the screen, and that is the impact of slavery on all these lands. We're going to do a quick wrap up of our journey into Central America, and we're going to jump back to the great old days of the 1990s. The North American Free Trade Agreement was signed between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Many factories opened up in Mexico to take advantage of cheaper labor, and the goods that were manufactured in these factories were able to enter the United States and Canada as part of that North American Free Trade Agreement. Now we got a big vocabulary word here, and that vocabulary word is maquiladora. So these were factories that were in Mexico, and parts would be shipped to these factories, and then they would be assembled into the products, and they would be sold, as finished goods later on in the United States and Canada and other countries. So maquiladoras grew rapidly in the 1990s, but they have declined significantly since then because production has shifted over to China. And why has production shifted to China? It's because labor costs are even lower there than they are in countries in Central America. This is Mr. Burns signing off.